Welcome to Lighting for Profits, presented by Emery Allen, with your host, Ryan Lee, your number one source for all things landscape lighting. From lighting design, install, sales, and marketing, we discuss everything you need to know to start and grow a successful landscape lighting business.
Hey. What is up? Welcome to the number one landscape lighting show in the world. Does anyone dare dispute that yet? I'm your host here on Turfs Up Radio, Ryan Lee. I'm the host of Lighting for Profits, presented by Emery Allen. And listen, if you are looking to start or grow a landscape lighting business, then you are definitely in the right place. I want to thank you guys for your support. This honestly could not be a thing if it wasn't for each and every one of you. So I appreciate your support. And this is awesome, guys. I get to have so much fun doing this. I get to have guests on that provide a tremendous amount of value, sharing with us their insights and their experience and everything else. And today's show is going to be epic. We've got Michelle Mueller with Garden Light LED and Learn Nightlight. And then we've also got a mystery surprise guest coming on as well. So I'm super excited to have Michelle on. She's very successful in this industry. She's also a friend, and she's got a lot of experience that we can all learn from. So I'm excited to kind of pick her brain and find out how it is she's done all that she's been able to do. And so we're going to welcome her on in just a few minutes. But before we do that, I want to kind of give you guys just a, kind of a summary of what's been going on. So last week, as you hopefully noticed, actually, I didn't do a live show last week. So if you didn't notice, then maybe that's a bad thing. But I was actually traveling, and I don't know why I'm so busy right now. I sold my business. I'm not supposed to be busy. I don't know what's going on, but I'm having a blast, meeting so many awesome new people. And I had two experiences last week. I was able to go to two events. One was the Sterling Lighting Summit. And then the other one was the Huge Convention. And just to tell you real quickly about kind of both of those and what I learned and some of my experiences. What's up, Donovan? How you doing, man? If you guys are listening live on Turfs Up Radio, then thank you. And if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, thank you as well. And if you're listening to the podcast afterwards, then thank you. Anyway, I had the opportunity to speak at this lighting summit. And one of my messages that I really always talk about, and I talked about at this event, was really trying to increase your sales and increase your profitability. And I think a lot of people are afraid to do that. And I think I know why, but some people are afraid to scale, afraid to grow. And when I give my message about, raising your price and closing more deals and getting that $1 million mark, and of course, if you're at the $1 million mark, then it's about the $2 million mark, the 5, the 10, and everything else. But when I talk about it, it's not to increase your greed or to increase your spend for your new boat or anything like that. I mean, it's really so that you can build a valuable business. And, if you make more money, you can give back. You can give back to your employees. You can give back to your family. You can give back to the community. You can give back to your clients, and most people don't make enough money to be able to provide that red carpet, white glove service to their clients. And so that's why I'm so passionate about helping people make more money, is so that they can be a better person, be a better business owner. And Pat Harder's, the owner of Sterling Lighting, was talking about scaling a business. And, the message about that is this, that your business is never going to be perfect. If you listen to this podcast or you read a book on business or, go to a conference or whatever, sometimes you feel like that there is a perfect path. And honestly, there's not. I mean, even in my coaching program, I teach things that work, but I haven't come up with a perfect system, right? There's nothing perfect about it. And so many of us fear growing because we're like, well, if I can't even handle what I've got now, how am I going to handle growth, right? And that's a completely normal mindset. I used to think like that too. And so we're afraid to scale because it's not perfect. Well, actually, what you'll find is that the more you scale, the closer you become to perfection, because now it doesn't just require you to do the job of 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 different people, right? And so as you build and you hire your replacement one person at a time, you now have more people doing specialized jobs instead of you trying to do everything. And so it goes from chaos to an actual organization. It goes from a paid hobby into a business. And so one of the magical things that happens when you scale a business and you get out of that rut that you're in is it allows you to become more profitable. And with those profits, you can reinvest back into your business. And here's how that works. And I don't have anything I can show you right now, but basically, your business is comprised of fixed costs and variable costs, okay, expenses, right? And what happens as you grow, like let's say you have a shop or warehouse. Let's say you've got an office manager. Those are like fixed expenses. If you sell one more job, it doesn't cost you anymore. You already have that shop. It's already being paid for. If you have one truck or two trucks, like those are fixed, expenses. Like you're going to pay for them regardless of what happens today, whether you sell a job or not. And so if you decide to scale your business and grow and you're like, you know what, I'm going to sell more jobs. Well, that profit from those jobs is way more profitable than the first half of your jobs, because those first jobs were going straight to your fixed expenses, right? Those fixed costs. But when you grow, now all of a sudden, once you get past that point where all your fixed costs are covered, now you're in the gravy. Now you get to ride the gravy train, and you make so much more money, and then you can reinvest that back into your business. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. I don't want to tell you guys what your goals are. I don't want to tell you what your version of success is, right? But I'm here to tell you this, that it gets easier if you'll scale, if you'll grow. And I know a lot of people are afraid to do that, but I promise you, because I've experienced that. Okay. I used to not think that I could hire my replacement. Like no one could do sales like me, but that was just a lie. And no one's as good as me at this or that. But honestly, we as business owners, we put so much stress on ourselves because we're expecting ourselves to be perfect in all these areas. And the reality is it's just not going to happen. So I talked to guys at this conference that have been doing lighting for over 10 years, and they're still not charging enough. They're still charging in the low 200s per light. They're still in the daily grind, still out doing demos and installs and sales. And I felt bad. I legitimately felt bad. And it's because I was able to experience the freedom that should come from being an entrepreneur. And so I want that for others. And so I want to encourage you guys this week to just do one extra thing that you haven't done in the past to transition from operator to owner. Okay. And listen, we got Michelle. She's in the green room, if we want to call it that. And she's having a good time. So this show is going to be awesome, guys. I wish you could see what I was seeing right now. Oh, I'm super excited. And of course, don't forget our surprise guest. Not that let out of the bag yet, but this is going to be an awesome show. So I want to encourage you guys this week to do one extra thing that you normally don't do. Get outside your comfort zone, and that will help you in your transition from operator to owner. Now, after my speaking gig, I went to, and that was in Virginia. It was really good. I mean, they had their ribbon cutting ceremony and stuff like that, and their I guess inaugural lighting summit, right? Then I flew down to Atlanta and I went to the Huge Convention. And people are like, "What's the Huge Convention?" Well, the Huge Convention is actually a convention for pressure washers and window cleaners. And then the next question people have is like, "Why is a landscape lighting guy going to a pressure washing convention?" And at first, I did feel a little bit out of a place because these guys they weren't landscape lighters, But here's why I went. Our industry, the landscape lighting industry specifically, is pretty much behind the times in in all these types of things, right? And so I can't tell you, I met so many cool vendors and things that I'm going to introduce to our industry. I mean, I'm talking softwares, I'm talking automations, networking groups. I just met so many cool contacts that I'm going to bring into the landscape lighting world, and it is going to be awesome. So these guys they're just more advanced in some of their marketing and sales and pricing strategies and everything else. And so I was super grateful that I went. I also met a ton of powerful influencers successful business people that have scaled their businesses, and not just scaled it to like $1 million or 2 million, but get it to 10, 15, 20. I mean, these are some big time numbers. And this is out of like pressure washing, carpet cleaning. Like, these are not, industries that you would think would get to those numbers. So really opened my eyes, and I'm like, man, we got to step up our game in the landscape lighting industry. So, exchange contact info with a lot of really intelligent people way smarter than me. And I'm excited to learn from them. So, who would have thought that you'd learn so much going to a pressure washing convention? And I was there for less than 24 hours, but totally worth it. And I'm looking forward to bringing a lot of the things that they've got in their industry back into ours, because there's just a lot of really, really good stuff. So where are we at? I feel a little bit disorganized. I had things going. I was doing a show every week, and then I had last week off. So I'm like, wait, I'm not on my A game. Like, what button do I hit when and everything else? So, I haven't had a perfect show yet, but hey, we're talking about an imperfect business. My business is not perfect. It's not going to be. So, but we're flying by the seat of our pants. So, all right, guys, what we're going to do is take a quick break, and then we're going to welcome Michelle Mueller with Garden Light LED and Learn Nightlight. And we'll do that. So, guys, stick around. It's less than 2 minutes. We'll be right back.
Isn't it nice when the weather cooperates and crews complete jobs on time and on budget? But weather can cause delays, and with paper route sheets, jobs get lost in the shuffle. That's why you need Aspire Crew Control scheduling software, an easy-to-use, flexible, and affordable solution that allows you to shift schedules with a single click. Try Aspire Crew Control for free at aspirecrewcontrol.com.
Hey everybody, this is Hecubus from the Nightcap. I'm just sitting here relaxing within the vault with my friends and a tasty, tasty pint. You should stop by and listen in sometime. I'm here every Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, live only on Turf's Up Radio. Your industry, your station.
Attention all pros. When you leave a deal with your clients, don't leave money on the table. Join Turf's Up Nation today and partner with pros all across the country who can help you make more money for services that are related to your project. Landscapers need plumbers, and pool installers need hardscapers, and every combination in between. Turf's Up Nation is free. Your information is secure, and you will be connected with other pros in the industry that want to do business with you. Not to mention property owners who need help with just about everything. If you think your clients don't need you and the connections you have, think again. Join turfsupnation.com today and start putting more money in your pocket for services you never knew you could. To sign up for this free service, go to turfsupnation.com.
It's about that time. I need like one more person to help me push buttons here. There she is. What's up, Michelle? Welcome.
Hey, Ryan.
How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm going to turn my music off now.
I mean, thanks for the invite to the pre-dance party there.
It was kind of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, I saw Luis in there. I mean,
yeah, he was teaching me some moves, you know. I gotta give him some props. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I got to be more innovative on the show.
I'm a little rusty, but maybe at the end, like I said, I was going to surprise you and tell you, no, we're going to get up and start moving. But that I saw with your Lighting for Profits team, you kind of put everybody on the spot, which was cool.
Yeah, I try to.
Good to see. You got to keep people on their toes.
That's right. I know. I try to introduce some like dance party stuff, but they just look at me like I'm crazy. So I'm like, well, I guess I am.
But hang on, play the song we talked about.
Oh wait, which one?
It's on cue.
Oh, shoot. Oh, wait. Oh, man. What is going
Come
on?
now. We're going to put your toes up there, Ryan.
I don't know what's going on. That one?
No,
Oh,
but
shoot.
we'll take it.
Hold on. Let's try this one. That one?
That's my era. I like that. Those were some good old days.
I think we can only play it for like less than 10 seconds so we don't get bumped off.
But as we did before backstage here, I won't share any of those stories. That's only for you.
Guys, I'm not kidding. I wish I was recording our pre-interview chat. It would have been much more entertaining than what I'm going to really ask her about. Well, let's get to know you a little bit. You are an author, you're a mother, you're a wife, a businesswoman. I mean, you've got all this stuff that I want to talk about, but we are on a time crunch. So I guess, how long have you been in the landscape lighting world?
For 20 years. Same amount of time that I've been married.
That's awesome.
That's how I know.
It's easy to keep track.
That's right.
So let's talk about your involvement with Garden Light first, and then we'll get into Learn Nightlight in a bit. But in terms of Garden Light, I know you're really hands-on. You've been able to help develop your business based on relationship with dealers and everything else. So talk about that. Where's that passion come from, and how are you able to do that?
Starting from nothing, frankly. You know, when I met Rayto, he was working out of a 10x10 executive suite and installing landscape lighting. And he worked for over 2 years just saving everything that he made. But one of the things that was really cool to see was an industry that a lot of people were doing landscape lighting. And there's, of course, the legendaries that you've heard of, like Bill Laughlin and things like that. But we didn't have a clue. You know, we had just got together, and I was in the advertising business, and I was good in sales. I modeled for 10 years, so I was able to travel around the country and learn a lot. You may have seen me on Home Shopping Network as the jewelry model, which was a lot of fun in my 20s. But when I met Rayto, it was as simple as, hey, I'm starting this business, and I know people want landscape lighting. Do you want to come over and join me? So the company that I was working for, they were going out of business, and I said, sure, let's do it. So literally, you know, the passion comes from starting a relationship, marriage, first child, business, and from nothing. And so it's been quite an evolution, just seeing the company grow and having those relationships and being a part of the creativity. You know, some of the fun stuff that we do is just when we've, you know, had nannies and their husbands come over. It's like, hey, what are you doing? I don't know. Do landscape lighting. Okay. Go to a restaurant, meet people. Have you ever thought about landscape lighting? Only if they're good servers.
Right. One day I want to total up the number of people that you guys have brought into the landscape lighting industry and like sit down and make a list, because it's pretty big. It's a pretty long list.
You know, Ryan, I was trying to think, you know, of that. And honestly, I am where, you know, I know what I know because of, we had this guy, Bob Johnson, who used to come into the office. He was a sprinkler guy. I just asked Rayto, is Bob still alive? He was a nightscaping guy. And, you know, we didn't know. We had 3 fixtures. We had a great opportunity with the transformers that really kind of put us on the map, working with, you know, our OEM directly. And Bob Johnson used to come in and, you know, here we were with 3 fixtures, but he liked what we had. And he would tell us all the Bill Laughlin stuff and the stories behind it and the methodologies. And I just fell in love with it. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to find out how I could become better. And the funny thing was, because I came from the advertising business, Rayto came, and I was like, I need to learn this stuff. Like, I'm on the phone. I never hung up the phone. I was just dialing. My receiver never touched. When I was in the office, I had the phone to my ear, and they used to laugh at me because I was just dialing, talking to people. But Rayto said to me, you want to learn landscape lighting? He goes, here's the only book that's written. It's Janet Lennox Mueller. And I got the book. I'm looking for it right now because it's back here somewhere. And it was like this big, and it was so comprehensive and talking about corrosion. And I thought to myself, how can one person know all this? How is that possible on the subject that I thought, so that's kind of how we got into it. And, we've just been dedicated to adding value to our partners' lives and how we can become better. And we're learning, we're entrepreneurs, so we're learning as we go.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, you've stayed super humble over this time, and your passion and drive is awesome. Like, we don't have, I mean, we're like every other industry. There's not many females in the business. And so I was actually at your house. It was like a few months ago, and you were going out at night to go do a demo. And I was like, I don't know what the right word is. I was like proud. I was like, man, look at her. Like, she doesn't have to go do this. Like, you really don't. And here you are. You just love it so much. You're going out to do a demo. And I was kind of like joking, but kind of serious. I'm like, can I go?
I wanted you to come. This one was an interesting situation, and it only got more interesting. So, every instance, and I always say this when I'm talking to people, it's divine appointments. You never know who you're going to meet that day. And I'm saying that in a way because you don't know what they need. You don't know what they've been through that day. So every time I pull up at a client's house, every time I talk to somebody on the phone, every time I take a call, which I'm super happy to do. If anybody after this wants to call myself, you're more than welcome to. But I always consider those meetings as divine appointments. And I try to be humble and listen and try to look for those opportunities. Because, at the end of the day, Ryan, yes, it's about lighting. It's always about lighting. And it is always about, providing that client with the best services and great lighting systems and sales. Let's just admit it. For so long, people want to say, the word sales and closing the sale is a bad thing. We are in this business to be profitable. We are in this business to make, bring light into the world. So at the end of the day, yeah, it is about, providing that customer with great lighting and closing the sale. But I always find that there's so much more. And that's where things, really get interesting when you have your receptors up and you're welcoming those opportunities, because we're in a crazy world, crazy times. People need light. People need people that bring good energy and good solutions and care.
I love that. Oh, I love that. Thank you. So let's I'm going to pick your brain and get some advice from you.
Oh, okay.
Well, so I guess what?
On prank phone calls?
Yeah, should we prank? Do you want to prank someone right now?
No, but I'm pretty good at it.
I made the decision. First, I was going to do those prank calls live, and then I'm like, I better do them recorded and get permission. But so maybe what we'll do is in the next few weeks, we'll get on a call together and we'll act like we're like an old husband and wife or something like that and prank somebody.
I'm in. Love it.
Okay, so in your opinion, what do you think is the difference between those that are successful in this industry and those that are not?
It's all about ourselves, Ryan. It's all about learning how we interact with people. It's all our success is relying on ourselves. If we want to grow, if we want to develop, if we want to learn, if we're okay making mistakes, you're going to make mistakes. There's so many things and aspects. That's the fun thing that I found with entrepreneurs. We would just say, hey, start a business, get in the lighting business. Well, how do I design a lighting system? How do I install a lighting system? How do I hire people? How do I create a strategic plan? The list goes on and on and on. Oh my gosh, now I'm responsible for all these things. And, at the end of the day, you have to be willing to make mistakes, understand that mistakes are your best teachers, and that you're not going to be good at everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know we are afraid to make mistakes. And when we make them, we're afraid to share them with someone, right? And then that's why we don't learn. So I agree with that. I agree. There's a lot of people that kind of get stuck in this repetitive cycle and they're unable to break that. And when I say success, I know it's kind of a broad term, but I mean, when I say people that aren't successful, I would say those people that are still asking kind of elementary questions, even though they've been in the industry 5 to 10 years, they're just unable to get out of that rut that they got stuck in.
And that's all about themselves. You have to develop yourself. You have to understand that you're your own Achilles tendon. We all are.
So let's say someone's new I think we've got listeners that are brand new, like just even thinking about getting into the industry. And then there's other people that have been doing it over 20 years, some over 30 years.
Yes.
But if someone who's fairly new in the industry, what advice would you give them getting started out?
Get a couple lights and go knock on doors and start talking to people.
Yeah.
That simple.
Yeah, I like it. A lot of people are afraid of the demo, or they're like, well, I mean, do you value your time and, all this stuff? But yeah, you go set up a demo. That does mean you value your time, because you want to convince these people that they need lighting. And that's one of the easiest ways to do it.
Correct. Well, if you're wanting to get into the business, and that's one of the things, Ryan, that I love meeting people. I get super excited. I remember the first time I went to AOLP, I didn't have a clue. I didn't even know this organization existed. I was like, wait, there's a whole room full of people who potentially could work with us and have been doing landscape lighting that I can learn from. I was flabbergasted, because where we came from was people that we just kind of pulled into our circle. Sure, we'd call some irrigation guys, or we'd call some people that were already doing lighting if we traveled to a city and ripped, the phone book pages out for landscape lighting, which was like two pages. But I couldn't believe that there were all these people. So for people that are just starting out, that's what we did. We told them, hey, they're like, what, landscape lighting? Yeah, I've always dreamt of owning my own business. How am I going to do landscape lighting? We would literally kind of kick them out of the nest. Go knock on the neighbor's door, introduce who you are, tell them you want to light up their home. And it's that simple. Well, so there's a lot of aspects, but honestly, you've got to stumble to be successful. You've got to have those moments where you're like, and that's how you uncover it. We have hockey coaches that, ex-military. I work with a lot of women's groups. Trying to get more women in electrical and more women to come over that work with the Women's Center. Anybody can do it, and if you're not good at something, then you hire that person to do it, but you have to figure it out first.
That's awesome. You know what? I mean, you're kind of talking about myself like 10 years ago, because I used to think like, I got this figured out. Like, why am I going to go to a conference, or what am I going to learn in a book? Or like, I've been doing this for 5 years. What else is there to learn? And actually, I remember coming to your, it was your first dealer congress, and I learned so much, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, have I been shorting myself over these years, And I think part of that is me having to kind of trip up myself and go through those hardships. It's much easier to be in a learning mindset once you've failed over and over and over. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, your dealer congress, by the way, I want to put you on the spot a little bit. Is there going to be a dealer congress in 2022?
We're talking about it, Ryan. There's so much instability right now. And the big thing is making sure that we have product for our partners. They rely on us. And the team right now is 100% focused on bringing in product, making sure we don't run out of product, even if we need to air freight it in. I mean, I'm really, really proud of every single person that's in this building, because I'm evading the question, but
you're doing great.
We got to make sure we have product for our partners. You know what? If Dealer Congress can come into the play, I'm all about it. I want to bring as much knowledge, as much community, as much fun as we possibly can to our industry. So you will be the first person I call. You know why?
No.
Because I want you to be one of our speakers, Ryan. You're doing so great out there, I'm proud of you.
That would be awesome. Thank you. Well, and I know I didn't tell you I was going to ask you that, so I wanted to put you on the spot a little bit, because there's a lot, like people come and ask me, they're like, is Garden Light doing their dealer congress? I'm like, I don't know, so there is demand. We just want you to know, but we totally understand this year has been wacky. Yeah. And you guys got to do what you got to do. So
we are going to talk about it, so my recommendation to you is bump Bruce a little bit when you guys are on the mountain, Bruce Dennison, our national sales manager, and ask him about it. But I'm open.
All right, you guys. So if you're watching, listening, harass all the sales reps, the national sales manager, harass everyone. Because if you basically tell them they're going to do it, then they're going to do it,
It's so much fun, Ryan, because it's an opportunity for us to all come together, and it's an opportunity to learn from each other. And I really think that's the keys to success in anything that you do. Look at what I've done. I mean, I came from zero knowledge. I had a lot of experience in production just from modeling and watching and being on a scene. Creative, that comes natural to me. But I'll tell you what, these entrepreneurs, the creativity, and why am I so passionate about this? Because taking people that hated their jobs, didn't know what they wanted to do, wanted to spend more time with their family, had no clue about landscape lighting, watched them and their creativity grow a successful business. That's why I'm passionate about it, because I've seen it happen. In fact, one of your listeners could be our next $1 million headliner. That's awesome. No joke. Like I seriously, I found somebody yesterday. I just got this little postcard, actually. It's Louise's Electric. I still call, if I get something in the mail or I see a truck this could be my next $1 million headliner. I'm not kidding. So I take it that seriously because I've seen the creativity and I've seen what it can do. Dealer Congress is just a great opportunity for us to all learn from each other.
Well said. Well said. That's like, if whoever's, I do have someone that edits some of this stuff for me later for some clips, and that's going to be one of the clips. So just so you know, love it. Okay. I'm kind of losing track of time. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to introduce our special guest and talk to you about Learn Nightlight. Does that sound all right?
That sounds awesome.
All right. Good deal. Okay, guys, we'll be right back with Michelle Mueller and our surprise guest. So make sure you stick around. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jeff Hesser, senior contributor and co-host of the Weekend Review here on Turfs Up Radio. Can't make it to major green industry events, but want to stay connected? Don't worry, we have you covered. Be sure to download the Turfs Up Radio app or visit our website. We'll bring you the live coverage you need to keep you up to date with everything that happens in our industry. And to find out where we'll be next, simply visit greenindustryevents.com. That's greenindustryevents.com. And always remember, Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Hey, landscape pros, are you tired of digging through rocks and roots and breaking shovels in the process? Then it's time you checked out the Geo Ripper 616. It's a landscaper's dream with the Makita 6 Series 2-cycle engine producing over 4 horsepower of raw performance. The 616 digs deep in up to 16 inches of the toughest soils. Lighting, landscape, and irrigation contractors already love this improved lightweight trencher with its ability to get in and get out faster, easier, and with less ground disturbance. And you will too. This redesigned Geo Ripper 616 comes with 2 heavy-duty digging chains and a whole mess of helpful extras. To learn more about the Geo Ripper and how it can help you out in the field, visit georipper.com today.
Hey, everybody. It's Brooke Ford, host of The Green Veteran here on Turfs Up Radio. Be sure to check me out every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. You're going to hear some great one-on-one interviews with green industry professionals. We're going to talk about best business practices, highlight innovative products, and also provide some insight into some new emerging technologies in the field. That's The Green Veteran, airing each Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And remember, Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Hey, lawn and landscape pros. Don't let your edge go dull. Your competitive edge. Sharpen your edge at the GIE Plus Expo this October 20th through the 22nd in Louisville, Kentucky. Innovative products, latest technology. Talk face-to-face with engineers that design your favorite equipment. Then step outside and dive into the hands-on demo area where you can drive, dig, and compare equipment to your heart's delight. This year, the wow gets even bigger with the new UTV test track, the hands-on drone zone, and free parking. Register now at GIE-expo.com, and we'll see you in Louisville, Kentucky this October.
Whoa. right. Welcome back to Lighting for Profits, presented by Emery Allen here on Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station. I did get a message from, the big man upstairs, Darren, which Darren says hi, by the way, Michelle. He was like, dude.
I love Darren. Darren's awesome. I've got a lot of respect for Darren. Darren's cool.
He's a good dude, but this is not his show, so, But Darren, I really do apologize because I'm always supposed to remind people, Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station. I usually get it backwards. I usually forget to say stuff, so I do apologize. Live on the air. All right, so back here with Michelle Mueller, and it's time to announce our surprise guest. Do you want to introduce our surprise guest? And she might be surprised too.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of my favorite people in the world. Janet Lennox Mueller, the iconic Janet Lennox Mueller. It was funny because when I first met Jan, I wanted to call her Janet, but then I realized that that's what her mom and grandparents used to call her. So now we're on Jan. She's dear to me. So hi, Jan.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here the second time.
Yay. Yeah.
You're the first repeat guest.
Cool. And we have something
awesome.
big to talk about.
We definitely do. Before we get to that, I do need some clarification because I feel like I know you from your books and everything else as Janet Lennox Moore, but should we now is there a transition? Is it just now Jan Moore?
Janet Lennox Moore.
No, Janet Lennox Moore.
Yeah. The kids all call her Janet Lennox Moore, Ryan.
And you can't, if you're a girl, you can't forget your roots.
Okay. Well, I've called you all sorts of different things then. I had no idea.
That's fine.
So we'll go back to Janet Lennox Moore. I can do that. I think it's got a nice ring to it. So thanks so much. This is awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And let's talk about Learn Nightlight. I mean, I want to know everything. I want to know why it got started, how it got started. Like, let's get going.
It actually got started because of Garden Light LED Dealer Congress.
Really?
Michelle and I were talking about what could we do to share this information and how could we present it. And it just developed from there. As Michelle will tell you, on my plane back home, I outlined the whole learning series.
That's awesome.
That was pretty impressive, honestly, Ryan. She came in to meet for the first time, and I was just getting back from camp and dropping the kids off. And Rayto actually picked her up, and she had her hat on that she always wears, and he, of course, knew exactly who she was. And she just came and stayed at the house, and we were like old friends, and like we've known each other forever, and there was just this comfort level between us. And I brought her into the office, and we kind of did this whole presentation on the vision of what we want to do for Dealer Congress and how it was originated and how we want to support our partners and how we felt she could be a fundamental part of that. And I'm going to guess, can I say this, Jan? I think she got really excited.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So she was super, super excited, and we had the best time together. We hugged when we left. We said, we'll see you, in February. And we left it at that. But literally the next morning, I opened up my email. She had everything already, all 20 sessions, items for item, composition, elements, creating a sense of depth, structures and buildings, sculpture. We mixed it up a little bit, lighting snow, power distribution. I mean, this stuff is just innate. It's something she's worked on her whole life. And the knowledge and the level of knowledge, I was laughing when we were filming this, especially the last 10 sessions. If one thing was missing from the teleprompter or from in transition, she knew it. It could be one word, Ryan, and I'm talking over 1,000 between the two courses and the 20 sessions. She had 1,000 pages of content.
Oh,
and if one word was missing, she'd stop everybody and say, "Well, hey, this is missing or this measurement's missing." So awesome. She's amazing.
That's so cool. Well, your book is beyond ahead of its time, right? I mean, Michelle hit on that earlier. It's unbelievable the amount of detail that's in there. Are the videos, is it a summary, like a video summary of things, or is it in companion to the book?
It's a companion to the book. There's even more information in those 20 sessions than is in the book.
Yeah, well, because you've got, how long ago did you write the book? I mean, you've got stuff that you've learned over your career as well.
Oh, absolutely. The first edition was in 1988, and the last edition was 2015. So there's still, 6 years since then.
Okay. And then who is Learn Nightlight for? Is it for someone who's like, man, I want to know what landscape lighting is, or is it someone who's got 10 years experience, or all the above? Like, talk to us about who would benefit from it.
I think that everyone that's interested in landscape lighting would benefit from it. One of the things that that we all know from sharing is that we all know the way we do it, but there are so many other things that we can learn. So even a really experienced person is going to learn some tricks and some details and some fundamental knowledge that they may not have had. And it's a good way to introduce people that are interested in coming into the industry, because we go all the way back to the fundamentals of everything, of how the eye works, and how you think about conceptual design, how you plan the installation of a project, or the aiming session, or even a mock-up session, and the importance of record documents, which is something we always have to remind everybody.
Not me.
Sure, Ryan.
Yeah. All right, guys, go keep your records, like I've been telling you all these years.
Here's what I can say about the course, Ryan. You will guaranteed learn 10 things per session. Some of them you may have known, but a lot of them are going to be things like you're going to frame it differently, or you're going to, when you're walking a property, what's happened for me, I thought I knew, lighting design, and I've been dabbling and going out, and I'm learning through our partners. And as I see their companies grow and the creativity that they bring to the business, and then when I actually started getting out there, I start using the language when I'm working with my clients. I start walking a site and understanding what I'm looking for. And it really changed my perspective. I will say, even in the past 2 years of working with Jan, I've also been very fortunate to go out to projects and work with her in person. It's intense. I mean, she knows what she wants. She knows how to communicate it to the people that are putting it in. Huge. That's so important. And then she knows the outcome that she's trying to achieve when she's with the client and delivering the final project. So you're going to learn a minimum of 10 things, because there's 10 quiz questions per session. So it's a comprehensive program. It's a video for each session. They're all titled, they're all tagged, they all have their introductions, and the videos range from 10 minutes to 25 minutes long. Now, what's really cool is she has this hypnotic, at least for me, I never get sick of watching them. It's stressful in the world. I want to plug it in. I can use it on my phone. It's responsive. And she's such an educator. The way that she teaches, it's so beautiful. And what I really love about it as well is each one of the sessions, she goes to the sites that she's been on over the past 40 years.
Oh, nice.
So we created a workbook. The workbooks are 30 page to 40, depending on how many photographs, charts, you name it. She has everything in these. So it's full of knowledge and information. And then you get to see it and experience it. And at the very end, there's 10 questions. So for sure you're learning the material.
That's awesome.
And you should be able to recite that. When you're working with your clients, you should know how to create a sense of depth. You should know composition. You should know focal points. You should know how to walk the site, power distribution, how to determine all these things. And if you don't know it today, you just keep on working on it, Ryan. It's slow. It's at your own pace.
Very cool. So you had 10 and then you just recorded 10 more. Is that right?
Yes, we did.
Are all 20 up now, or?
No, only the first 10. So if you're interested in taking Learn Nightlight, it is on IES IES.org, which they are our partners. We're very proud to have them partner with us on this content. There are 10 IES CEU credits for architects or specifiers for the course 1. So 10 sessions. We just were approved, which was a huge success for us with ASLA. So if you're a landscape architect and you want to get those ASLA credits, it's also available to you on the IES through the IES portal. It's a little bit buried on there, so we're working on that, and we're developing a marketing plan for it as well, collaborating with them. But if you want to find it, go to IES.org and then go into education and go into partner content. And it's the first, you'll see it, Learn Nightlight. Can't miss it.
Okay, that's awesome. So I want to actually, what we're gonna do is take a quick break, and then we're gonna just play like the trailer. I'm gonna try to figure out this screen sharing thing and whatever. And
You're gonna do it, Ryan.
Yeah,
you got this.
So let's do the quick break, and then we'll play the Swiss cowbells, and then we're gonna have a dance party. Michelle has agreed. I hope Jan agrees to this. Janet Mueller, excuse me.
That's all right.
And then will you guys think of a lighting tip of the week while we take this break?
Sure.
All right. And then that's how we'll close the show. So stick around, guys. We'll be right back.
There's more to landscape lighting than just throwing a fixture under a tree. The best display is one that was not only designed well, but also stands the test of time. High-quality fixtures and bulbs are key to long-term success and customer happiness. At Emery Allen, our focus is on creating only the highest performance landscape bulbs in the industry, with long-lasting components that don't degrade or flicker with age. Each bulb's appearance is always consistent throughout your lighting project. We offer a wide range of base types, beam spreads, and color choices that will fit your needs. To learn more, give us a call at 843-480-4473 or email us at info@emeryallen.com.
Hey everybody, Wayne Voles, the Prophet, your host of Profit Time here on Turfs Up Radio. If you listen to my show, you know I'm all about profit. As an industry, profit is something we fail to meet most of the time. If you're working hard but not seeing the results that you deserve, Profits Unlimited is here to help. We offer processes and systems designed specifically to make your company more successful, more profitable, and certainly more efficient. When you're ready to take your company to the next level, reach out to me at profitsareus.com. That's profitsareus.com. And don't forget to turn into Profit Time every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m.
Are you a military family with a spouse on deployment away from home? Did you know that nonprofit Project Evergreen has thousands of volunteers across the country ready to help military families with lawn, landscape, and snow removal services? We call it Green Care and Snow Care for troops. If you are a military family and would like to receive this free service, or if you'd like to volunteer to help, visit projectevergreen.org. Project Evergreen, creating a greener, healthier, cooler Earth, 1 yard at a time.
Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to Lighting for Profits, presented by Emery Allen here on Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station. I am joined with Michelle Mueller and Janet Lennox Moyer.
Ah, you missed that, Ryan.
Did I do it right?
My mic was, I yelled for you. I was like cheering you on, and my mic was muted.
Oh, I usually have about 4 or 5 screw-ups a show, so that was just we had to get that in there. So, all right, here's what I want to do. I'm going to share my screen, try to figure this out. I want to play the trailer because it is a good trailer. It kind of gets you amped up like, oh, okay. Let's see what this is. Okay, I got you. So give me a second here. Let's see if I can do this. And we are going to hopefully figure this out. And carry the 1, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You doing math, Ryan?
I try to do math when I'm nervous.
Oh, there it is.
All right. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. We're going to play the trailer for Learn Nightlight.
For me, it's like an aha moment. It may be moving a fixture a half an inch in terms of aiming, but I see it and a little smile just comes across my face. I worked on this project called Walnut Creek Manor in Walnut Creek, California. We lit all the pathways so they could see how beautiful their home was. Eventually, I realized that not everybody knew everything that I knew. So then I started writing the landscape lighting book. And what happened was that I started getting calls before the book even came out. I had become known worldwide. There was this little voice in the back of my head. The little voice kept saying, "You have worked so hard, you've gained all this knowledge, you should share it." I like every scene in a garden to feel complete, allowing your eye to move from one area to another and almost feel like you've been told a story. Our society understands how important landscape lighting is. They're small. So you want to cut a piece. Walking the site helps us get a sense of how the space feels and the relationship of elements to one another. And I start visualizing what could be done in my mind. You've got to communicate what you actually design to the installers who are not in your brain and they never will be. We need light to scare away the darkness. We've made this big leap from old technology to LED. Change is going to happen. We have to accept LED. We have to let go of our old technologies. LED brings things to landscape lighting that we've never had. What is it going to need today, and what will it need 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now? So that when your client calls and says, "You know, this tree just doesn't look like it used to," you can fix it. Hi, I'm Janet Lennox Mueller. I'm a lighting designer specializing in landscape lighting for 43 years.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Didn't you like seeing Michelle and I crawling around on my property?
That seriously, I was going to bring that up. I mean, that is like really cool that you guys were out there doing the work, you know?
We had fun.
So what, I know you guys said it started at Dealer Congress, but really what was the why behind it? Like what prompted you to be like, you know what, this is what the lighting community needs?
It's so hard to get people to understand the complications in lighting. And I think when you go through these sessions, you see the beauty that you can create, the safety and security that you can create through beauty, and how you have to be very careful in all aspects of it to make it the best it can be.
Yeah, very cool. No,
I think for me, Ryan, you know, Jan, I hope she's with us for another 50 years, although she's probably going to say, no, I don't want to be.
No.
But, and I'm looking at this awesome magazine. Look at this environment. This was an Architectural Digest this month, but that's why I bought it when I was in line at the grocery store. But that's awesome.
That's beautiful.
When you can create that, it's amazing. But the big thing for me and why I am so dedicated to helping this be successful and the passion and everything that's behind it is her knowledge has to be carried out. One person to know so much and to have dedicated, I mean, this stuff is so interesting when you start going through all the different sessions and understanding what you're doing with the equipment as a lighting designer or as an architect or as an interior designer who wants to do lighting design. There's just so much. And this gives you the platform that you can, you know, in the comfort of your own home, learn from. And it's bite sizes, it's informative, educational, but you're also loving it because you're seeing these amazing scenes like I just showed you, and you're like able to create this.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's going to get so much traction because the world has evolved and video, I mean, video is very powerful. And I do like that you're hands-on. I mean, you just saw that clip of you guys out there doing it. So that's going to be very moving and very helpful for people. It's easy to tell someone what to do, but to show them is much more powerful. So I love the fact that you guys came out with these series of videos and trainings. So we're pretty much at the end. Do you guys have, maybe one or both of you, is there a lighting tip of the week that you want to leave us with?
Well, Jan, she was texting me, so I'll let her have that one. But
And you have one?
You can have that one. I love it.
Do you have another one?
I have one that, and I'm going to kind of circle back. It's not necessarily a tip, but it's back to your questions that you were going to ask me, Ryan. And I don't believe people fail. I think people quit. So don't quit. Keep learning. Learn nightlight. Find a mentor. Get better at what you do. Love what you do. Learn from people and challenges that you've had, because those are your best teachers. But do not quit. You will not fail.
And there are so many mentors available in this industry, and everybody is willing to share. So my tip is use less wattage and more fixtures.
I like that. So can I ask you a question on that?
Sure.
How do we, as designers, installers, contractors, whatever it is, I'm 100% with you there, but the challenge is like selling that vision to the client. Can you give us some advice on how we do that?
Absolutely. The way that I do it is explain to them that this is their opportunity to make their outdoor space stay connected with them at night, summer and winter, and for them to be able to use that space. So they want to do it the best that they can. It's something that we can do over a number of years, so we don't have to spend the whole budget right now. So in doing it right, take one tree and do that right. Maybe pick the most important tree in your yard, the most important view. Do that one right, rather than spreading those fixtures out among many fixtures so that none of them look as good as they can.
Very cool. That's great advice. That is very good. And when we see that, if you just drive through any neighborhood, you'll see where they tried to use like the brightest, biggest floodlight or whatever and light the whole house or something. And that's just not a good design, not a good look. So I like the idea of separating the project into multiple zones and phases in order to show the client really what's possible. And that's really what's going to sell itself. Well, thank you guys so much. Is there any final advice, final tips that you guys want to leave our listeners with? And actually, I got ahead of myself. Brittany shared that link. So it's in the comments. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, there's a link to Learn Nightlight.
Thank you, Brittany.
Yay, Brittany.
Guys, just click there. It should take you right to it. But then beyond that, is there any final tips, advice that you want to leave our listeners with?
How many hours do you have?
2 minutes.
Go out there and enjoy it. It's the what I think is when we're done, the very end, we're waiting for it to get dark so we can see the finished effect, and then those lights come on. It's magic.
Like our dance party, Ryan.
Oh shoot! I
You know
forgot.
I like my music.
I'm so unprepared for it. I'm never taking another week off again.
I could play something.
You have to take another week off.
Streaming, but I think you might get kicked off if I try to put my music on.
I don't know. The dance party with Michelle Mueller, Jenna Lennox Moore, and Ryan Lee. This might get muted, but who cares? That's right. Only here on Lighting for Profits on Turfs Up Radio.
Okay,
Your
hold on. I'm going to do a drop.
Woohoo!
Oh, man. All right, guys.
Beat that, Ryan.
Huh?
Beat that.
I can't. I've got nothing. I'm just going to turn up the music and like run away. I mean, I'm hitting all the sorts of the wrong buttons and everything.
You're doing great. You're doing great. I'm proud of you.
All right. Listen, I'm super grateful for you guys taking the time to be on here and joining me. So I don't know what else to say other than thank you. And you guys have a good week.
Thank you.
Bye, Ryan. Thank you so much. Bye, Jam.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye. Ryan, God, we got to work on our moves.
Oh, big time. We're not meant to be dancing on live shows.
Nah. I think we'll stick with lighting.
All right. See you, Michelle.
Bye, Ryan.